So we get the meaning of life, all wrong. So much so that today you see a situation where our leaders, even those who are leading us, do not even understand that the human being that God has created as their citizens or the citizens of the nation are actually the greatest wealth God has created. Our leaders or we as people today now place more emphasis and more value on natural resources than the wealth. God created all these resources, the natural resources, for man to survive, for man to exist. It is not man created for natural resources to exist. No. Yes. So we were created to utilize the natural resources. So which means that all these resources are created for us, for our use. We were not created for the resources to use us. So you see a situation where leaders undermine their citizens and begin to amass wealth, allowing citizens to die, citizens going hungry, people dying in the country, whereas some persons have converted. To tell you that some of our leaders don't even understand the meaning of wealth. Yes, wealth necessarily don't mean money. This is why, because they have a very wrong understanding of what wealth means and what wealth is supposed to be used for, that wealth is supposed to be used for the survival of man. What they do, because they don't understand that, they convert the wealth into money and store money. Just like, for example, just a quick submission. You see, in this recent how do I put it now? What just transpired recently, you realize that because they didn't understand what wealth means or meant, they had amass wealth in the form of money. And when the government decided to just change the currency, they now realized that their wealth they thought was wealth and they have amassed so much was going to waste. And we could see the kind of heat and and controversies and crisis it's generated recently. Now, most nations who understand what wealth means don't keep wealth in form of money. This is why most of the times, for those of us who watch Al Jazeera, you realize that sometimes they show the gold reserve of Great Britain. Yes, because man needs gold. The country can wake up any day and decide to change the dollar and the dollar, or even change the pound. So if you are keeping your dollar, it becomes waste. But if you store your wealth in the form of maybe whether wood, in the form of timber, in the form of fish, in the form of whatever farm products you have, or in the form of gold or any other metals, these are all forms of wealth that we need. If you find a way to preserve this thing, any day, any time, whatever civilization in millions of years to come, man will still need all these things to survive. It will never change. Man will never stop eating rice. Man will never stop drinking gari. Man will never stop using water. Man will never stop using gold. This is the truth about life. These are the wealth that we need for survival. It is not really money. Money is just to make the exchange of wealth. That is why knowledge is also a form of wealth. For reasonable countries, they document knowledge so that they can pass it from generation to generation. That is actually a form of transfer of wealth that is not physical. So you can realize that we have what we could say is physical wealth and non-physical wealth. So, but because we in this part of the world do not really try to understand life deeply. So we misunderstand so many things, just like we misunderstand our women. So this is why God provided us women in the first place. This is why we say women are actually our mirror. You see, such that when you the first one of the first thing that man in the beginning of life got in contact with was woman. So God gave us woman for us to decode the women. When you have a proper understanding of women, your wisdom will increase about life. And when your wisdom increase, you can now begin to understand many other things that are in life or in nature. So